Alright, hey guys, this time I'm going to show the screen because this has a decent amount of pictures in it and I want you guys to actually be able to see the pictures. So, Delilah's Adventures, this is the story we're going to be reading. And this is what it says. This is a story about my Left 4 Dead 2 character named Delilah. This will have romance and gore in it. You have been warned about the gore. If you need more information about Left 4 Dead 2 and or other characters in the story, such as Ellis, Nick, Rochelle, or Coach, then I suggest looking up the YouTuber Wow Such Gaming. He has a series over all the special infected and the survivors, including, may he rest in peace, Bill, from Left 4 Dead 1, from the first Left 4 Dead game. Wow Such Gaming also has 2 videos that discuss the virus in Left 4 Dead, the green flu, which I will also be discussing a little bit inside this story. So let's just start reading. Notes about the characters. So this is where I will be describing each one of the characters. Each one of the characters are alike, and their outfits as well as looks. All the characters, aside from Delilah, are from Val. If you want to learn information that is not here about Delilah, look in my OC book. She's in the part titled Zombie or Human. So, first off, I'm going to talk about Delilah since she's the person who the story is about. Her skin is really pale and her eyes are a crystal blue color. Her normal clothes are a torn Midnight Rider shirt, the band from Left 4 Dead 2, and a pair of ripped skinny jeans. She has some blood on her clothes, but not on the rest of her body. Her hair is a red color that fades to black, as well as her personality is shy yet confident. She can be outgoing. She can also be open-minded about the given situation. So the other characters are Nick, Coach, Rochelle, Ellis, Francis, and last but not least, I forgot Zoe. I forgot to say Zoe. Sorry, Zoe. Zoe, Francis, and last but not least, Lewis. This is Nick and Ellis. Nick is an ex-con artist, and Ellis is a redneck that has a love for a lot of things. Ellis is very open-minded and tries to lighten up the mood normally. He is also the youngest of the second group of survivors, being at 23 years old. Now, Nick's age is unknown, but he looks to be about 35. Nick is the complete opposite of Ellis when it comes to attitude. Nick is more of a rude and lying kind of guy, while Ellis is a sweet and honest. This is Nick right here, and then this is Ellis. The Bullshifter shirt comes from a group of his friends that he had. And now here's Rochelle. Rochelle used to work with the CETA. With CETA, not with the CETA. The Left 4 Dead version of the CDC. When the outbreak first began. She's a nice girl who is very optimistic about certain things, much like a few others on this list. Now, note this: her and Zoe are the only female survivors because the gene for immunity is passed down from the father. This is someone else's drawing that I found on Pinterest of Rochelle. This is pretty much what she does actually look like, though. The shirt and the skin tone and the pants are pretty much the same thing. And these 2 little guys off to the side will come and play very soon. I'll tell you who those are too. And then this is another person who I found. Another person's picture that I found on Pinterest. I don't remember their names though. And here's Coach. Coach is his name, or at least that we know of. Not even Valve knows his name, since in the files he's just named Coach. He's a coach from a high school in Savannah, Georgia, which is where the 4 survivors, Coach, Nick, Rochelle, and Ellis, meet. Coach and Ellis are both from Savannah. And then this is what he looks like. These 2 will also come into play soon. I'll talk about them as well. Of the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors, this is Zoe. She's a horror movie loving. She's a horror movie-loving college girl. Her age and hometown are unknown, but as far as we can tell, she's in her early 20s. She also vows showing leadership among her friends after Bill's passing. This is what Zoe looks like. And then this is Francis. He's an ex-criminal, much like Nick, and him and Nick might have some history together. I'm not going to spoil that though. Other than that, he's a vert negative person. I don't know why it says vert, very. Yeah. I don't know why it says vert. Very negative person. One of my favorite lines from him is, I hate doctors and lawyers and cops. He basically hates everything. XD. And this is what Francis looks like. That is a shotgun in his hand. And whenever he picks up a shotgun, he'll say one certain line. It's a certain shotgun though. And this is Lewis. Lewis is a positive Looney Tunes character sounding man that used to work a 9-to-5 job before the outbreak began. He also used to spend his free time at the gun range, so it helps him in his given situation. This is what Lewis looks like. He's a black dude. He's very cool. I like him. And I did say I wasn't going to show off Bill, but I changed my mind. This is Bill before he sacrificed himself. This is what Bill looked like in the Left 4 Dead 1 games. This is what he looked like. And this is after he sacrificed himself. As you can tell, he has blood kind of laying around on the ground. This was when I was playing through the game, and I was playing on the passing, which is the campaign that you find him in when he's like this. So, the gun that he's holding is also called the Commando, at least in the game. That's why I call it. Alright, these are the special infected. This one, if you're standing in the picture, so let's say you were standing in the picture, right here in the middle. Right here is the Charger, Hunter, Spitter, Jockey. And then to the left of you would be the Tank, Witch, Boomer, and Smoker. These are the names. These are what I've given each one the descriptions of. The one that's in the overalls, obviously I've said that was the Charger. The one that's in the hoodie, that is the Hunter. The Spitter is the stripper/prostitute looking one. The Jockey is the shortest one of the group. And then the Tank is a giant pink zombie with the big muscles. The Witch is a very skinny and sad looking woman. Boomer, the fat guy. The Boomer also has a female version. I'll show a picture of it. And then the Smoker is the tallest of the infected, as well as known as the Tumor Head, because he looks like he has a bunch of tumors going out of his head. This is what the female Boomer looks like. She is not a pretty sight. Sorry to say. And then there are also uncommon infected. Hazmat, or Sita, are found in the Sacrifice and Dead Center campaigns. Jimmy Gibbs Jr. Zombie is only found in the 4th level of the Dead Center. It has a 5% chance of appearing, and Ellis is very reluctant to kill it. Clowns are only found in Dark Carnival. Fallen survivors are only found in the Passing. Lemon can be found in Swamp Fever and in Coldstream, a non-canon campaign. Construction worker zombies can spawn in Hard Rain campaign, as well as No Mercy, Dead Air, and The Sacrifice. Riot zombies can be found in The Parish, No Mercy, Dead Air, and Coldstream. No Mercy, Dead Air, The Sacrifice, Crash Course, Death Toll, and Blood Harvest are only for the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors, including Bill, since he was alive before he sacrificed himself. The Sacrifice is the campaign where Bill is known for sacrificing himself. But let's continue on to the next chapter. This is chapter 1. This right here is area 2 of basically, let's say, the Dark Carnival campaign. This is the fairgrounds. And this is where we meet Delilah. And don't worry about the commentary, just worry about the map. Delilah was found in the area before the slide on the roof. I heard footsteps come near the closet that I was locked in. I banged on the door. "Help me," I yelled. "Guys, I think I hear someone calling for help." I heard a voice say. I think they were talking to a group. It's probably just a witch, another voice said in response. Then I saw the door open and I fell out. And out I fell. It's still the same line, even though I said out I fell out or out I fell. It's both of them. The middle-aged man aimed his gun at me and was about to pull the trigger when the young man stopped him. What are you doing, Ellis? It's a zombie. The middle-aged man somewhat yelled. Look at the eyes, Ellis said. The middle-aged man did so and saw that my eyes were shining with life. I was so scared. She looks like a zombie. I don't fully trust this. The middle-aged man growled slightly and put his gun on his back. Ellis helped me up and gently patted my back. Are you okay? And how did you end up in there? He asked me. The hunter locked me in here, saying some kind of Morse code or something. I explained. Well, here, take this, the young man said, handing me his katana. I took the katana and looked at it gently. Don't give her a weapon. She may use it against us, the middle-aged man said. Nick, stop being mean, the woman of the group said. We started moving away from the area, and I looked at them. Well, so I am guessing you're Ellis? I said to the redneck-looking dude. Yep, but you can call me Elle if you want. I prefer Ellis, though, because Elle sounds like a girl's name, he said, and that rude guy is named Nick, the girl said. And who are you two? I asked, looking at the girl and the older man. I'm Rochelle, and this is Coach. That's what we call him. Rochelle said. Nice to meet you guys, I said with a soft smile. Then the smoker grabbed me. I was getting pulled, and Ellis saved me once again. We should probably get you a gun so you can protect yourself against the long-range infected, he said. I nodded and continued walking with them. I saw an AK laying on the ground and picked it up. If I remember correctly, this is how you shoot this gun, I said, shooting an infected. Nice job, Ellis said. And I will be stopping once I get to chapter 5. Well, I'm going to read chapter 5, but once it says chapter 6, that's when I'll stop. Chapter 2, this is back in the first level of the campaign. But Ellis, Nick, Coach, and Rochelle here, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, these guys are not following along. These guys will not be going all the way through. They will be going up to the car, but then they'll only be going back to the car. But they ain't going back to the rest of the trip. I woke up ready for our next trip. We were in the Tunnel of Love and Dark Carnival campaign. I think I want to go back to Savannah, I said. Sophie, that place is gone. That's where we came from. If you want to head back there, you can take Jimmy Gibbs' car. Ellis said, I could, but I need to know where you left it. I said, we left it on the highway just outside of Whispering Oaks. Coach said, we could go with you, but I don't think it's safe. I said, I only have to worry about the special infected. I said, why is that? Ellis asked. It's because she looks like an infected herself. And since she does, the common and uncommon infected see her as one of them. But I'm guessing with the special infected, they can see through her disguise, Nick said sharply. I dislike Nick's attitude. She can't do it on her own. We should go back with her to the car, and she can go from there, Rochelle suggested. That would be good, I said softly. Ellis looked at the door of the safe room, specifically the one we entered in. All right, I think we should help her, he said softly. Nick rolled his eyes. All right, we can help, he said. I know he didn't sound happy about doing this, but he's doing this because of the rest of the group's decision. I sighed and gave a soft smile to them. We headed back through the way we came, heading towards where they left the car. I ever tell you about the time me and Keith made a homemade bumper car ride with riding mowers in his backyard? Mower blade wounds over 90% of his body. I didn't run him over either. He somehow managed to fall under his own, Ellis said. Ellis, is now really the time? Nick asked. I would like to hear more of the story, I said with a smile. I saw Ellis's face light up after I said that. You would? He someone exclaimed. I giggled a bit at his enthusiasm. Yeah, they sound interesting, I said, smiling. Don't even get him started, Nick said. Nicholas? Coach said in a stern voice. All I heard from Nick was a grumble. We still have to climb that hill, Rochelle said. I know we do. But I don't know if my old ass could do that, Coach said with a chuckle. We got to the hill and I looked at it. I see how we can do this. How we can get back up. I said as I used my katana to toss me up into the air and onto a ledge. Wow, you're good, Ellis said with a smile. It's just called learning from a hunter, I said with a chuckle. Hunters are very skilled at jumping. I should note this, that hunters are able to jump up to 3 stories high. They are incredibly good jumpers. This is chapter 3, where the story is in the back with the truck in the front of where Delilah comes from. That's where Delilah comes from. Now here, I will play this just a little bit just to show you guys. And this video is found, I found this on, I remember the YouTube channel. Hey, you need to allow me to fucking play this stupid thing. Talking my fucking thing. Okay, so I'm going to skip forward just a little bit in this because I'm going to show you the part that I'm talking about. So we need to go back some. Fairly certain that they're going to go back to it. No, they're not going back to it just yet. Okay. So let me rewind this back. I did not mean to do this. So, okay. This area is not the area that I'm talking about. But you're going to see what I'm talking about right after this, okay? And I'm going to pause it once I get to it. Oh. Okay. Well, it's not going to show me that part. Alright. He's getting attacked by a hunter. That's a hunter right there. They had to hold out until, getting seen. But, okay. So right there, that is the building that I'm talking about. Right over there. This is the way that they come from. And I'll show you the very ending part of this, where you see them basically get in the car and drive off. So that's Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s car, and you're going to see them drive off. They're driving that away. Now let me go to the YouTube here very quickly, and I will show off who the person is that this video is from. This video was posted. Oh, I don't care about YouTube Premium. Get the fuck out of my face. Yes, cancel that. Alright, this is from Vigil Gaming. This is who made this video. Now I shall go back to the story. Alright, let's continue. So, chapter 3. This is where we get to the actual good part. We got up the hill after a bit. It took some time for Nick and Coach to climb up the car because they are older than the rest of us. We stopped for a moment after we climbed up the hill to rest. Then the spitter said no to that and we had to run away from the area, which was fine. We kept walking. Now, note, spitters will spit acid onto the ground of where the survivors are. That's what they do. They spit acid, and they also leak acid from their mouth. And when you kill them, a little pile of acid appears. But it disappears very quickly in the game. We kept walking and I kept listening to Ellis' stories. They were just so interesting to me. We got to the car and I hugged Ellis. Thanks for not hurting me, Ellis. And same to you, Rochelle and Coach, I said, smiling at them. Nick looked at me and I gave him a hug. And thank you for not killing me either, I said, smiling. Whatever, sweetie. Nick said. I let him go and looked at Ellis. I guess this is goodbye. I hope you have fun and that you're safe. Please find a way to get to us, Ellis said. I'll send a letter to New Orleans. Hopefully you'll get it, I said, smiling. I walked over to the car and got in it. I waved goodbye to them and turned the car around, heading back towards Savannah. On my way there, I had lost the car due to a tank attacking me. Luckily, I killed it. I was so tired from running and walking that when I reached a bridge that I saw 3 people on, I fell down. Don't shoot me, I'm human, I shouted at them before everything went black. When I woke up, I saw I was on the upper part of the bridge with one of the men laying beside me. He had a bad cut on his leg. What happened? I asked, looking around. A girl with white skin, black hair, and eyes with a red hoodie and blue jeans came into the room with some biker-looking dude. Hey, I'm Zoe, and this is Francis. That man laying beside you is Lewis. He's the only one who said we should save you. Zoe said, thank you. I came from Whispering Oaks after meeting a boy named Ellis. Ellis? They left here a week ago. Why did you come back? Francis asked. What's going on now? Oh, you're awake, I heard another voice say. I looked over beside me and saw the man named Lewis looking at me. Sorry to interrupt, but what's your name? It's Delilah, I said, looking at Zoe. That's a lovely name. So where are you heading? Lewis asked. Me? I'm trying to figure out what I am. I don't know if I'm a zombie or a human. I mostly feel human, but I look like a zombie, I said softly. Oh, we don't know how to help with that, but I have to ask, how did you get here without being attacked? Lewis asked. I made it just outside the area, about a mile, with the car Ellis used, and then a tank attacked me. I managed to kill it and get away, I said softly. Well, we're glad you're safe, Zoe said softly. So how did that asshole in a suit not kill you? Francis asked. Ellis stopped him from shooting me, I said, looking at him. Zoe tossed me an apple. I took a bite of it and talked with them. I said, there's not very much items that they can eat, just so you know. This is in the same area, so that's why there's no video on this one. So in a couple other chapters, they're going to be in the same area, so we don't have to worry about having video evidence of where they are. So, chapter 4. But before I read chapter 4, I'm going to go back to chapter 3. And I'm going to quickly show just where these guys are at. There's a little quick evidence of where these characters are at. That's all I'm going to do. At least where these 3 that I'm talking about are at. So, as you can tell in this little area, they are up here on the bridge. This is a little hideout building right here. And inside this, they're actually tossing out random stuff, like random bits of supplies for you guys to have when you're doing the level. But let's continue on. Right, chapter 4. It's been a few days since my meeting with Zoe, Francis, and Lewis, and I've enjoyed my time here with them. So Lewis, how did you get that injury? I asked, looking at his cut on his leg, a witch scratched me when we were fleeing up here. We lost a man that day, Lewis said softly. Was it a man named Bill? I heard Francis and Zoe talking about a guy named Bill. I said, looking at him. Lewis nodded softly. That Rochelle girl definitely had a crush on Francis, he said with a chuckle. And I'm pretty sure Ellis and Zoe liked each other. I mean, did you hear how excited she got when I said his name? I said with a small giggle. Lewis smiled and wrapped his arm around me. Man, it's been a while since I laughed as much as I have today. The last time I laughed like this was the day we lost Bill. I was laughing a lot that day because of the argument me and Francis had in the safe room. he said, laughing a bit. Can you tell me the story, Lewis? I asked, looking at him. I don't mind. So when me, Bill, Zoe, Zoe and Francis were in the safe room behind that store over there. He points to the store that I walked by on the way here. And Francis had said he was afraid of islands. I told him I'd keep an eye on the island for him. He said nothing, and I said, Punk Island, bitch. Which made Francis laugh at my response. Lewis said, smiling. I giggled at the story. Author's note. This is a little note. Francis is actually afraid of being isolated, which is also known as the word I used in the next paragraph. You mean insulophobia? Means the fear of being isolated. You know the fear of insulophobia means the fear of being isolated. I asked, looking at him. How did you make that connection if you didn't hear me say the name of the fear? I just figured that was the fear sense. It makes sense why he didn't seem to like the idea of living on an island. So I suppose it does. I said, I could probably get one of those cars down there running, and we can head to New Orleans. I heard that was the last holdout. I know you guys have had enough of the military, but maybe we could figure out something, I said, thinking. That could work. The issue is, I barely move around. Even though it's been a while since I got this injury, it still hurts, he said, sighing. Plus, like you said, we're done with the military, he said, looking at the ground. I rubbed his back. Your arm is still around me. I mean, I don't mind it, I said, looking at him. He looked up at me. I'm glad you don't, he said, resting his head against the wall. Zoe and Francis were outside the room, making sure we were safe. I don't know why, but I felt a strong connection to Lewis. When your leg gets better, I'm going to take us all to a place where we can get in a helicopter, and I can fly us somewhere that would be safe for us to live. Like maybe a forest that hasn't been conquered by humans, I asked. I like the way you think, Del, he said with a smile. I nuzzled him and smiled. Chapter 5. So I'm going to read this chapter, and then right after this chapter, I am going to stop this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys can still hear the music in the background, that is Minecraft still playing, because I like to have the 10-hour version playing in the background while I'm doing these. If you don't like it, then I'm sorry to say, but it's just a calming music, and I thought it would be good for this. So continuing on, let's go. Lewis and I were telling stories to each other until it was my turn to watch with Francis. I got up and waved goodbye to Lewis. I then headed outside to Francis. Hey, Francis, I said, smiling. Hey, Del, Francis said, leaning against the railing. How have you been? I asked. I've been well. How are you and Lewis doing? You two seem to be getting along very well, Francis asked. I blushed a bit. Yeah, we're getting along well. We're doing fine. I see that blush. You like Lewis, don't you? Don't you? Francis teased a bit. What? No, I don't. At least not in the way you're thinking, I said, looking at him. I wonder if Zoe is teasing Lewis about him getting along with me so well. Del? Francis said, snapping his fingers. Oh, sorry, spaced out for a moment. It's okay, but what were you thinking about? He asked me. About what Lewis and Zoe are talking about, I said softly. They are probably talking about what we are talking about, Francis replied. So I have to ask, what was Bill like? I asked, looking at Francis. Oh, Bill? He was an amazing old man. He always knew what to do, and he took care of us, like we were his family, like we were family to him. I'm not a fan of cops and the military, but Bill is the only military guy I can stand, Francis said with a gentle smile. I bet he was an awesome dude, I said with a smile. He really was. I'm surprised he kept up with us young folks, Francis said, chuckling a bit. How old was he? Maybe about 60? I mean, he did fight in the Vietnam War. Maybe we could show you what he looked like before his passing. We still have his body nearby and have been keeping it safe from getting eaten," Francis replied. "I'd be fine with seeing that. I've seen worse things happen," I said softly. Francis rubbed my shoulder. "If you ever need to talk to someone about anything, we'll be here. Louis, Zoe, and I are your friends," he said with a smile. "Thanks, Francis. You know, I'm going to try to fix up one of those cars and maybe we can drive away from here. I know you guys aren't necessarily ready for something like that, but we could do that," I said softly. "That could work, but where would we go?" Francis asked. "Maybe we could try to head to New Orleans? If not, let's try to head to the Mississippi River and go on from there. I'm sure there will be survivors on the other side of the river," I said aloud. "You're really smart, you know," he said with a smile. It made me blush a bit. "Thanks, Francis. No problem, Del," Francis said with a small smile. We continued to watch out for zombies in silence. I guess we lost things to talk about, since I don't want to bring up family stuff, I thought. And that is the ending of chapter 5. I will continue this in the next video that I post of this. I will probably be posting another video of this when it is next week Sunday, because I'll be posting these weekly, and this will be posted next week on Sunday. Hopefully you guys enjoy these little things, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, Outcast, and hopefully you guys have a great fucking day and have an amazing afternoon. An amazing night, whatever the fuck you want to say it as. And I don't really even care if I'm cursing. Good night to you all, good day, whatever. See you guys later. Goodbye.